I finished reading Volume 3 of Joyful Reunion, and I think this may be my favorite series from Fei Tian Yixing. Dinghai Fushan Records and Legend of Exorcism are great, but I'm really loving Joyful Reunion. Each volume is just making me love Duan Ling more and more than I already do. He's also drawing the attention of others in the story. The last two of the four great assassins, Zheng Yun and Qing Lu Jun, both develop a friendly relationship with Dualing, and Qing Lu Jun also acts as Dualing to be his teacher. His uncle Li Yongqiu and Xie Yu, who is an important general and guard for the emperor, also take notice of Dualing upon their first meeting with him. Both of them look at him for the first time and are in like a dreamlike state where they feel very reminiscent of someone else. Plus, Duan Ling's defense of Tong Pass while he's going by the name Wang Sheng gets him noticed by the palace as well. At the beginning of this volume, as the events of the second arc conclude, Fei Hengde, who was a close advisor of his father, tells Duan Ling that he already instructed Xie Hao, who is a deputy general and from the same clan as Xie Yu, to support Duan Ling in his claim for the throne, and confirms that he knows that Duan Ling is the true crown prince. So I was right that he would be someone helpful for Duan Ling. Lang Junxia is also still around. He gives Wudu and Duanling the Mountain and River Sword Manual, which is very important as Wudu is the inheritor of the White Tiger stack. And it happens in a situation where Lang Junxia is poisoned, and out of the four great assassins, Wudu is the one that is known for poisons. So Lang Junxia trades the manual for the antidote. However, I do think that he possibly would have wanted to give this to Duanling regardless. And after this, he also saves Duanling's life, helps him avenge his father, and then lets Duanling have the radiant white tiger armor, which is also important to the white tiger set. Lang Junxia also never tells Se-young that Duanling is still alive. Se-young only finds out that Duanling is alive because he sees Duanling with his own eyes. And when he gets angry and confronts Lang Junxia about this, Lang Junxia takes his sword, puts it to Se-young's throat, and then tells him that he needs to calm down before somebody realizes that he is fake. Even when Se-young starts getting upset and asks, well, what if my uncle finds out about this? Lang Junxia tells him that the emperor is not his uncle, the emperor is someone else's uncle. However, at this point, Batu, who was Duanling's old school friend, who knows that Young is fake, sends two people to the capital during the crown prince's birthday to get proof that Young is fake. They also let Young know that they know his true identity and that they know that he's an imposter. At the end of their visit, they lose their proof because Duanling and Wudu end up taking it, but they also hold Young hostage for a little bit so that they can escape, throw him in a river, and then yell out that he is not the real crown prince in front of Duan Ling and all four of the great assassins, Wudu, Lang Junxia, Chung Lu Jun, and Zhong Yun. This is where Se-young's paranoia starts to kick in, and he feels like he is being haunted by the ghost of Li Jinghong. He begs Ling Junxia to get rid of Duoling and accuses him of never had wanting to do so to begin with, and Ling Junxia tells him that he's right. Se-young also has this guy named Feng Duo at his side, who he also asks to help him get rid of Duoling, and he does seem to be more loyal to Seong. He was also there when the truth was revealed about the identity. However, Wudu is on Duanling's side. Duanling confesses his identity to Wudu at the start of the third arc, which is towards the beginning of this volume. And Wudu also has feelings for Duanling, so he plans to stay with Duanling, protect him, and help him reclaim his place as the crown prince, which does seem to bother Li Yongqiu. Since Wudu has inherited the White Tiger sect, he has a special place in society, at least in name, and Wudu's loyalty symbolizes the martial world submission to Southern Qing. However, Wudu has not been given the courtesy that he should have, and he also seems to not like the crown prince, aka Taeyong. However, Li Yangqiho doesn't know that the real crown prince is Duanling slash Wang Xiong, who Wudu does have loyalty to. Cheng Lujun and Zhong Yong had also told Mu Kuanda and Li Yongqiho that Young was revealed to be fake. Mu Kuanda is not surprised as he already suspected this and continues to go about making his plans and even changing them. Lee Yongchiho, on the other hand, decides that he won't believe it because Young knows some of the mountain and river sword technique. He doesn't believe that Li Jinghong would teach this to anyone but his son, and if he was somehow tricked into believing that the wrong person was his son, then so be it. Which really pissed me off, but I do think that Lee Yongchiho doesn't want to accept the fact that he possibly has been giving the love and care that he has been showing Young to the wrong person. That his brother's son is actually out there somewhere and is not the one that has been by his side. But even with that, he still takes special notice of Dwaling. Dwaling took the imperial examination, and Lei Yongchiho wants to see his essay, which worries Young because he had burned Dwaling's essay, which was stupid because, as Dwaling points out when Wudu brought up the possibility of Young doing this, it would have led to an investigation because one, Dwaling is currently staying at the Prime Minister's residence and is known as the Prime Minister's student. And two, he also had made a name for himself after the events of Tong Pass. Dwaling was given permission to bypass the initial exams and go straight to the one that he took. However, the capital is currently dealing with a flooding problem, and a lot of the exams had gotten ruined. So Lee Yongchiho has everyone with ruined exams take them again, and he personally reads Duanling's exam and tells Duanling that it reminds him of someone, much to Young's disappointment because he really wants to get rid of Duanling. I also think that Lang Junxia is trying to set up Young in a way. Young is still panicked and he's looking to Lang Junxia for help. And Lang Junxia tells him that there is a way to get rid of Duoling and that Feng Duo would know it, but he also tells Young that he needs to show himself to the citizens because Duoling has been out there providing disaster relief to the citizens because of the flooding. Duanling took it upon himself to help out because even though his title of Crown Prince is currently held by an imposter, these are his citizens and he needs to help them. Throughout volumes 2 and 3, Dwaling has shown over and over again that even though he resembles his mother more physically, his way of thinking and his overall aura resembles his late father, Li Jinghong. So I think if Young does show himself more, it will just cause more doubt in people's mind, especially as Duanling continues to prove himself to others. I also think that his fear of being discovered and the overconfidence that he has in his ability to get rid of Duanling is going to lead to its downfall. Also, the confession happens in this volume. I really like the confession. Dualing and Wudu are off on a mini vacation, and Wudu brings Dualing to where he was raised by his Shifu when he was brought into the White Tiger sect. Wudu is nervous during his confession, so he has a hard time getting his words out, and he also gives Dualing a bracelet. Dualing initially couldn't answer because he didn't know what to say, which led Wudu into thinking that he was being rejected until Duanling kissed him. And I loved Wudu's reaction to this. He does somersaults and starts punching the air. He is so in love. He even tells Duanling that once he has regained his place, that he doesn't need to give Wudu any official status. Wudu just wants to remain at his side.